Yeah, and there's something about mental exhaustion that people don't understand where it's actually harder than physical exhaustion. Like I personally would rather be physically exhausted than mental exhaustion. Like that's why, one of the things with me is I'd rather do work such as training somebody or detailing than, sitting home and working from home or at an office in front of a desk, in front of a computer. I don't like that stuff.
Yeah.
It exhausts me more and it leaves me empty. I would rather do physical work and come home and be tired from physical work than, be sedentary and look at the computer and screen all day long. And I don't know.
And we kind
It
of see
seems
that
like that's where
we kind of
things
see
are
that
going
happening
nowadays.
in new generation right now. Everybody wants to sit home on their laptops, do their work from there,
Yeah.
and make money because it's easy. Like, you know what I mean? You don't have to go to the office. You don't have to actually do a physical work.
Yeah.
Like, meaning like you're not physically around people. You're on your computer, making calls or texting or emailing. That's how you're making money. The problem with that is the reason why they are feeling the way they are feeling.
Yeah,
you
that's
know what I mean?
part
'Cause
of it, for
when
sure.
you're going to sit on the computer all day long, you're spiritually already, and you're exhausted with your mind too, not just spiritual, but just your mind too. And then you don't have any motivation to go out, do anything, even work out, go for a walk, read Bible, go to church, none of that stuff, because you already drained yourself to the point where your body just needs rest. And the reason is because when your mind shuts down, when you want to get up and do something, you physically just can't. And if you're gonna go there, you're not gonna be able to be there mentally. Because what's important is you're mentally there, right? I've obviously discipline. That's the idea of a discipline. You know what I mean? Like motivation is when you're feeling good, when you're feeling healthy, when you get enough sleep, when you get enough energy, like your food, everything, then you're feeling to be energized to go work out. When you don't have those things and you're lacking them, you didn't get sleep, you have to compromise on your plans, go help somebody out. You couldn't eat. Now you have to still go work out. That's a discipline right there, right?
Yeah.
You're not dependent on your emotions. But when this constantly happens, then you can't physically do it because your mind's not there to follow you. I mean, you can go there, but you're not gonna
Put in your best.
Exactly.
Put in your best.
You can't. And like,
Why do you
has
think
to-
people choose that type of lifestyle so often though?
Well,
nowadays?
there's a lot of reasons. I feel like one of them is money, career. They think without it, unless they sit home and, I guess, I would put it in a way where it's convenience. Yeah. So if they don't if they don't have convenience, they think it's end of the world. Especially now.
Yeah.
They really do. I mean, even I'm fault of that. When I learn about different religions, when I'm studying about Christianity, the history of the church and all that stuff, I'm actually mostly watching the videos. Back then, there was no videos. You had to read books. When I start reading something, it's harder for me to stay on it and watch. Like I'm not gonna read a book that's 40 pages, but I'm gonna watch a video that's 2 hours that contains like 100, 200 pages. If we had to realistically speak, right? If when you're watching 2 hour video, you're reading like 200 pages a book, maybe even more. Like realistically,
Okay.
Just to put it in perspective, if there was not this video, you had to go and read it.
Yeah.
And that takes more time. So, but it's healthier because the information gets soaked in more because you're like physically reading it and you're thinking about it more rather than somebody just talking.
For sure.
That's just how your mind works. So it's always better to do the physical work and be ready to live a healthier life, basically. Then sit at home, be on your computer, which there's nothing wrong with it. I do that too. But there's got to be a balance. Like you don't have to be striving to work from home. You can sometimes, but you have to be. It's better to do a physical work than like to exhaust your mind. That's how I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
That's why we see depressions. I mean, dude, you're gonna sit home from 9 to 5 on your computer, maybe longer. Your mind is shutting down. You need sleep. Your eyes are like, all this like, I guess blue light, and it's stressing you out. You need sleep. It can cause a lot of things within your health too. So then you don't have it.
No, it definitely does cause complications in your health, blue light in general. And I've had so many situations too. If I were to let's say, watch a movie before I sleep or something, or if I were to do some kind of work on my computer or on my phone before I go to bed, it's hard to fall asleep because of the blue light. Your mind just wants to stay awake. Your body wants to go to sleep, that type of feeling where you're tired and you're exhausted, but your mind just won't, almost like your mind is resisting against the body because the mind is constantly working because of that information and that blue light that's being fed to your eyes, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I would say too, everyone has different gifts and like talents and stuff like that when it comes to work. I'm sure there's some people like who can work at a desk for that long time, right? And not get exhausted. And I'm sure there's some people who like would hate that and just want to be in the field working like physically, right?
Yeah.
Everyone has their different gifts and their talents work in different areas. Like both jobs can help people, whether they sit at home or like they do physical stuff. Like they could, at those two, it matters on like what the job is too. It's like, who are you helping? What is your purpose for being there? Are you just there just to make money? Or are you there to like actually help maybe the business that you work for?
Yeah.
You're there to actually like put in effort and perform and actually express like your talent in like that area or like or your gift.
Like for example, what you're doing, most of your stuff is from desk, editing videos, and
Half
you do a great and you do a great job at it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you have a creative mind. You have experience in editing too. You are striving to be better at editing, all that stuff. And I personally wouldn't be able to do that type of work that you're doing. That's why I mentioned what I would prefer doing and the field that I would be in. But when you, just like how you said, when you have a purpose and the drive and the true understanding on why you're doing what you're doing, then the part where whether you're mentally exhausted more or physically won't matter that much, because at the end of the day, you have served your purpose that specific day to do your best to serve the Lord by serving people around you and doing your best that day to get most of the work done and not procrastinate, you know?
Yeah, and I think there's a difference between being exhausted physically. I think there's like physically and mentally can go in one category, then like spiritually can get in another category itself. Yeah. Just because
it's
if you're exhausted but you're not fulfilled, then that's even worse than being exhausted but you're fulfilled in a way.
100%.
So it's like even if you do all that physical work and like you're super exhausted, but it was fulfilling, it's different than you doing all that work and it was just so unfulfilling. You probably just like hate yourself at that point, like, or just like don't like the situation that you're in. That's kind of like how I look at it.
Because it feels like it's in vain, right? Like whatever you do, the work that you put in.
Yeah,
is
it's
in
like
vain.
the sacrifice is not worth it.
Yeah,
because you don't even know what it's for or why it's there, and that's why you need to have like a specific mindset towards work.
For sure.
Like even when I was a server at like any of these restaurants that I worked at, I tried to change. I literally tried to change my mindset. It's like, okay, why am I here? I want to give someone the best experience possible. In those days, like that mindset worked. But a lot of the times it didn't. A lot of the times I was just like, oh, like I just don't.
What's the point?
Because it's not like working towards like what I actually want. And I think people need, like, especially as Christians, like, don't just be in a job. Like, be in a job like where you feel like you can, like,
use your talent too.
Like be super good. Whether that be you being working at a church or you working at like being a server or being just like anywhere,
a chef
where you got to be like a chef. Like it doesn't matter.